Good afternoon, everyone. Happy World Youth Skills Day 2024, and welcome to the Global Skills Academy AI Skills for the Future of Work online session. My name is Soledad Patiño, and I am the coordinator of the Global Skills Academy mission at UNESCO. On this World Youth Skills Day, as we mark the 4th anniversary of the GSA mission, we are excited to bring together a diverse group of experts and partners of the GSA to discuss the critical role of AI skills in shaping the future of work. Today's session promises to be insightful and engaging, highlighting the transformative impact of artificial intelligence and the essential skills that will empower our youth. Thank you for joining us, and let's start it. It is my sincerest honor to introduce to Hervé Ouamashan, Chief of the Section of Youth, Literacy and Skills Development at UNESCO, to provide an overview of the mission and also the celebrations of World Youth Skills Day. Hervé, please, you may take the floor over.
Thank you very much, Soledad. It's really my pleasure myself, to be here and to open this very promising session from the Global Skills Academy, which is about AI skills for the future of work, as you just introduced, Soledad. It's my pleasure also to have notably this session because it's embedded in a more large session organized by UNEVOC, our UNESCO-UNEVOC International Center in Bonn, and I'm sure that you follow the very interesting session just this morning. So you will know about the framework and the objective here. I don't want to be too long because it's an ambitious session today, and I don't want to put us on late, but just to remind that it's a very important year, 2024, because it's the 9th anniversary of the World Youth Skills Day. It was launched in 2014 by the UN General Assembly in New York. So it's very interesting, and it's a journey until the 10th anniversary next year. You will know the theme of this year, which is very critical. It's about youth skills for peace and development. And it's very timely to have some discussion on this because you well know that violent conflicts disrupt education and the stability of the, at least, education system, but not only. It has impact on individuals themselves, whether they are young or less young, adults, whatever they are in the education and training system or at the workplace. So there are multiple implications, but also, as I wanted to say, not only on individuals, but also on the whole society itself. So it's very timely to have this discussion and system of this year for the World Youth Skills Day. Of course, as a global response, education is key. We all work on Agenda 2030 for education. And inside SDG 4 is key related to education as a whole, but notably on TVET, Technical and Vocational Education and Training. There is a strong focus not only on quality TVET, but also about learning outcomes related to quality relevant skills for employability of youth and adults. So let's continue to work in this framework. But for UNESCO also, I would like to mention again, as we did in the past, that we have our key new strategy for TVET until 2029. And we want to develop skills for individuals, economies, and societies. So developing skills for peaceful and sustainable societies is really in line with the theme of this year for the World Youth Skills Day. And for the implementation of our strategy, we have this Global Skills Academy. It's really an ambitious and very promising, very relevant initiative that was launched now 4 years ago. So it's today we celebrate the 4th anniversary. And this flagship mission today will address this session on AI, which is more specifically addressed, to these specific areas on artificial intelligence. And again, it's timely to discuss on this because we all know that the rapid integration of artificial intelligence technologies has been transforming somewhere the landscape of work with, the consequence on various technologies and industry which are used everywhere and more. So let's discuss. We should know better, I hope, at the end of this session, how we can equip youth and adults with the relevant skills they need to, to be in a relevant journey across their journey, professional and personal journey. So let's have all this discussion. Thanks to all partners that are together with us. All the stakeholders. This session is in line with what we foreseen in World Youth Skills Day, which is to discuss among the key stakeholders related to TVET. So at least the TVET institutions, the firms, the employers, the workers' organization, policymakers, and development partners. So I think we have here, all these these groups, these stakeholders. Let's continue to develop together, as a conclusion, strategic partnership and identify inclusive opportunities for young people to thrive in the evolving work of work. So let's continue to work, to discuss all together, to act and to have better impact. I will stop here. I wish not only you, but us, a wonderful webinar of 1 hour. Thanks. Soledad, you have the floor back.
Thank you very much, Hervé. That was very comprehensive. So now, without further ado, we're going to watch a video presentation to get to know more the insights about the Global Skills Academy mission progress.
Globally, 1 out of 5 of individuals aged between 15 and 34 remain disengaged from education, employment, or training. By 2025, 50% of all employees globally will need to be reskilled to respond to the rapid technological, economic, and societal transformation we are facing. The mission of the Global Skills Academy is to empower 10 million youth and adults with the key skills for employment by 2029. We believe that partnerships are the solution for this equation. GSA facilitates multi-stakeholder partnerships of private, public, and non-governmental organizations and corporations to mobilize resources to scale the implementation of training programs in solidarity. Together, we offer free training and mentorship programs and empower learners with digital, green, and entrepreneurial skills and support their journeys toward improved employability, life, and resilience. Since its establishment, GSA has supported around 900,000 learners in over 63 countries, mobilizing over 170 institutions of UNESCO-UNEVOC network, together with 25 partners. These are the futures we have impacted so far. Imagine how 10 million will do.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this very small glimpse of what the Global Skills Academy mission does. And please also, I invite you to follow us in our webpage. We will be sharing through the chat more information for those who want to learn more about the Global Skills Academy. So now we go to the next segment of the session, the AI skills imperative. For this, we have invited 2 experts to provide an input on the very important transformative impact on AI on future work trends. I would like to welcome Dr. Catherine Fair, Research Associate from the Alan Turing Institute. And then I will welcome our colleague, Roy Saruvat, Senior Project Officer from UNESCO. Please, Dr. Catherine, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. So I work at the Alan Turing Institute, which is in London in the UK, and a bit of context on why I'm here speaking today is that I work in labor market research. So I look at what causes people to switch between jobs and how we can transform the labor market and how the labor market is transformed by different scenarios. For example, the kind of recent advent of these kind of massive disruptive AI technologies. So I think that the challenge of understanding how AI will impact the future of work is quite a thorny problem. We've had fears of automation relating or replacing service industry jobs for decades, but this has kind of failed to materialize at a large scale. And this gives us an important lesson. The hopes and fears we have about how AI will change the workplace may never be realized, and we may actually find ourselves facing an entirely separate set of problems and opportunities. It's hard to anticipate, especially with these kind of big sea changes like ChatGTP. What will we be seeing in 5, 10 years? And so I think it's really important to remain flexible on these points and not get set in our thinking about what AI means for the workplace. Prior to the launch of ChatGTP, we had kind of a completely different conception of what AI could do. We probably would have said that the creative industries, people like artists, writers, and so on, were not likely going to be replaced by technology. However, as we know in the past year or so, we live in a world where AI-generated movie scripts exist. There are AI-generated novels. There's AI-generated art all over the internet to the point where different companies are having to now tag it specifically so we understand what is AI art and what is not. So this tells us we're in a world that probably 2 years ago we wouldn't have anticipated in terms of an industry or a set of skills being impacted by AI. So we come to the question of how will AI impact future work questions or future work trends, pardon me. I think I have a somewhat unsatisfying answer, but I think this depends greatly on where you are geographically, what you do for work, and how AI becomes incorporated into your work life. I think we're going to see both replacement effects, where AI now does a job or a set of tasks that a human previously did, but we're also going to see augmentation effects, where AI is harnessed to help us perform tasks more efficiently. And I think the impact of these occupation level transformations is going to be felt in the overall labor market. Some jobs will disappear, some will require skills that they previously didn't, and yet other jobs will appear to perform two new types of tasks that are necessary in kind of an AI impacted economy. And finally, and I think this is one that we kind of tend to forget, is that there will probably be a shift towards jobs where humans are just better at doing them than AI is. So while we will see some jobs disappear, there are some places that AI can't touch or we don't want to touch for ethical reasons. And those will be areas where there will be opportunities for people entering the workforce. I think we also have the factor of ethics and of decision making around how AI enters our workplace. How will policies permit, or how will policymakers choose to allow AI to become incorporated? And this is a tricky problem that I'm as a mathematician not qualified to have any strong opinions on, but I do think that different nations and industries will have different standards. And I think policymakers will have to think very carefully about where and how AI should become commonplace. And this will have impacts for people entering the labor market. And this is because there are, of course, a myriad of economic, political, social, and ethical considerations which will feed into these decisions. So shifting to skills, what types of skills will be needed for those entering the workforce in the coming years? I don't think it's as simple as saying everyone should learn to code, which has been a somewhat common refrain in the UK recently. Of course, there are going to be exciting opportunities for individuals with an interest in coding and the development of AI technologies, but there will still be a strong need for a broad range of skills. This makes it really difficult for me to give you specific suggestions on skills development, but as researchers like myself continue to explore the potential impacts of AI and automation in the workplace, we'll gain a better understanding of which skills will be increasingly in demand. And we can look to other examples, such as the UK's drive towards net zero, so a transition to a greener economy, and how that has transformed the types of skills that we expect to need in the UK over the next 10, 20, 30 years. So we will, presumably be able to make some estimates about the types of skills from an AI and automation scenario in a similar vein. However, I would say, we will see shifts in demands for skills, but the future of work still needs nurses, artists, tradespeople, and the rest. In particular, I think, and this is something that I've touched on already, we'll see soft skills becoming really important in a world where AI and automation can complete certain more technical tasks for us. Things like our ability to relate to other people, to think creatively, and our innate humanity are things AI cannot replace and will not replace. So when we think of people like social workers, for example, I find it hard to imagine a world in which that can be done by AI or should be done by AI from an ethical perspective. In terms of technical skills, the necessity of having training in any given area will strongly depend on your occupation. Like I said, not everyone needs to learn to code. It will really depend how AI becomes folded into your work life. Of course, we'll all need to be up to date on technical advances in our field. And for those entering the workforce, it's good to have an understanding of which technical skills might be required for the career you envision. Learning and acquiring skills is obviously a lifelong process, but your goals for your future will inform what skills you should develop as you step into the world of work, what sort of training you should engage in. But I think overall, the idea should be you really need to look into what your field looks like, and it may be more or less pertinent to you as an individual that AI exists. So with that, I'll turn it over to Roy.
Thanks a lot, Catherine, for doing this hard work of setting the stage, because that really helps me get into what I thought from UNESCO, and especially since I'm positioned within the lifelong learning division. What are the perspectives which we could bring in to the discussion, as I know the later interventions which are about to come. Soldat, is it possible for the slides to be up? Or if not, I can still continue, but let me know.
The colleagues will
Sure.
provide the slides. Colleagues, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
So as while that part is something which is happening, there's not much in the slides. The only thing which I wanted to is for you to have the three key points which I wanted to cover in this short intervention. If you go to the next slide. First is the dimension which you see. Can you go to the next? Yeah, thank you. The first part being this aspect itself, that it's not up for debate. There is an acknowledgement, a need for confirmation that there is a transformative impact of AI on future work trends already. Good that Catherine was here, because I think they just published something where in public sector itself, just in UK, the Gen AI is widespread. It's a definitive paper, and that's something which is not up to debate. So to understand how that works. Then, of course, when you acknowledge a trend and see that there is a length to that trend, then you see how do you react to it, or how do you prepare yourself for it, both from post as well as ex ante point of view. So what are the AI skills for future employability? And that's something which, again, the target audience which I thought about was the youth, and the morning grid sessions also helped me reaffirm a lot of what I wanted to talk about. And the final, because again, within UNESCO and within Lifelong Learning Division, I have to bring in this aspect of that we are not talking about all the context in a monolithic way. We are talking about something which is extremely specific, which matters to us, which is in low resource settings, within LMICs. Also, whatever we are talking about, how do we ensure that we are not increasing the digital divide, how we are ensuring that everyone is moving along together and that gap is decreasing. Next slide, please. So if you start talking about the first part of transformative impact, just from a point of view of an employer or industry, or for you as a youth to be process something, when you hear something like that, what are we exactly talking about? And this is where what becomes important is some of the terminologies, that it's AI-driven automation and augmentation. So while the repetitive tasks, wherever there is a lot of digital footprint, those are the parts which are getting automated. AI is also playing one key role, which is different from previous rule-based interventions, which is it's augmenting human decision-making capabilities. So according to McKinsey, by 2030, up to 15% of global workforce could be affected, potentially displacing around 400 million jobs, while also creating opportunities for new roles which require advanced skills. And in Global South specifically, AI can enhance productivity in labor-intensive sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, but it requires necessitating integration of socio-technical system theory to consider local socio-economic context, and that's something which is definitely a key. The second aspect, which is around job polarization also, that AI-induced job polarization is, again, is widening the gap between this high skill and high wage and low skill and low wage jobs part of it. So WEF predicts that around 85 million jobs would be displaced while 97 million new roles could emerge. So implementing strategies which are aligned and grounded in the groundworks like Waters' job polarization theory can help mitigate these economic disparities, but again need to be heavily contextualized and need to promote inclusive growth. Finally, it's a fast-moving world which we all are grappling with. Like last year, this conference, this topic would have been very different. But already, I think if you do a word cloud 4 times, Catherine in her intervention itself mentioned ChatGPT, which again, a couple of years back was, apart from the large language model nerds, no one would have even heard of what that would require. So that model, which underscores this continuous skilled adaptation in response to rapid AI advancement, but also not towards a technical solution approach, is also something which is going to be key. Because again, ILO highlights that 40% of employers cite they cite a lack of skills as the main reason of entry level job vacancies. So one of the things which, again, because it's the Global Skills Academy's anniversary also, this is one of the key things which underpins the urgency and the framework which we have chosen to meet this evolving job market demands. Next slide, please. So while Catherine steered away from answering like, okay, what are the technical competencies you require, and I totally agree that not all of us need to become coders or AI developers or data scientists, machine learning engineers. And again, data literacy is also a misleading word because UNESCO's approach extends beyond data literacy, but in fact is around reinventing community engagement and individual empowerment in the age of data. So these skills are something where you understand, not to become an expert in it, but understand the basic mechanisms of data collection, analysis, interpretation, which is foundational for leveraging AI, is something which needs to be given a serious thought because it's crucial for informed decision making, and understanding some of the nuances helps you also to in your journey see where it's in which kind of guardrail design do you want to maximize the potential while minimizing the risk. Again, as I mentioned, machine learning and AI proficiency, not from a point of view of becoming a data science, but understanding that how representativeness is so key, and not just in the real world where in a conference it's a good diverse panel, but even in your training data set, is your voice being heard or represented as in the real world setting or not. Programming skills, again, big tech, few players already have said English is going to be the new future programming language. But while that's happening, and Python and R are critical, and again, there are so many libraries, there is so much of AI as a tool itself within these aspects that truly, if you're someone who is aware and is curious enough, there is enough amount of material for you to get started and use AI to fill in those gaps, which otherwise only trained professionals needed to be involved in. And again, working with institutions like African Institute of Mathematical Science and other interdisciplinary bodies is instrumental for cultivating these skills. The other part, which again, I don't like the terminology soft skills, but I'm just putting in because that's something which to most of us is a familiar terminology. Complex problem solving and critical thinking, because we heard a lot in the morning sessions around social emotional learning competencies. I'm zeroing in on complex problem solving and critical thinking, especially when we are discussing about AI, because decision making and augmentation of decision making is what AI is bringing to the table, which is extremely new, and it's something which requires honing while we are designing our solutions. when we are thinking about the problems also in that frame. And again, emotional intelligence and adaptive learning, high emotional intelligence fosters effective teamwork, while adaptive learning ensures continuous professional development. These are things which are well established within literature. And according to LinkedIn, 57% of senior leaders now value these skills, these soft skills more than the hard skills. One part which I again don't want to reveal too much on the AI competency framework for students, but that's something which is coming out in the Digital Learning Week, in UNESCO's September intervention, where we are releasing something called AI competency framework for school students and learners in charge, which has these aspects of human-centered mindsets, ethics of AI techniques and applications, as well as AI system design. And the progression is at the first level, you should be able to understand it. Second level, you should be able to apply it. Final level, you should be able to create it. But the moment when I bring something in, that's when the last slide, if you could go into, goes into, okay, but do the students and learners have the agency to do such, have such big asks in it? And that's why they have to be well supported, and not just at the level of classrooms or at the level of learning ecosystems, but from policy to the implementation, to understanding and helping them in co-design, in helping them, bringing them in critical avenues. And out of that, the three things which, again, I won't get deep into, but educational reform with technological integration, where WEF reports that 65% of children entering primary school today will work in jobs which do not exist yet. So that's why integrating AI, data science into curricula at all education level is essential. And that's where, again, it's very well grounded in UNESCO's Education 2030 framework, which does lay emphasis on inclusive and equitable quality education. This part, again, France is doing it in form of CIFRE, but this aspect of triple helix model, which facilitates innovation and workforce development through collaboration effort between academia, industry, and government, is also something which is showing promise, but more country and at scale examples would help us study in a more evidence-based design. And the final aspect, because we all reside within the lifelong learning division, is fostering of this digital inclusion as a part of the design of every program, every initiative we bring in. Here I'm looking at the policymakers who have this onus onto themselves on creating these robust lifelong learning programs, micro-credentials which have interoperability, and these online learning platforms which include low resource settings and the context within it. I'll stop here. This is the last part which I just wanted to leave with. What are the call to actions? So policymakers and stakeholders, they must integrate advanced AI education into curricula in an equitable design. They should promote continuous upskilling through lifelong learning programs, and they should foster industry academia partnerships. And only then, through this inclusive access to AI training, upskilling, and understanding, is how marginalized communities within these stringent ethical guidelines of AI deployment can hope for every good thing which we talked about in the morning, and build a resilient, inclusive workforce adept at navigating and driving AI-driven future. With that, I thank you and look forward to the next sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roy, and thank you as well, Catherine, for framing the discussions. That was very rich and comprehensive, and we look forward to leverage indeed this event to continue the conversations. So now, as I am mindful as well about the time, I would like to introduce the next segment, fostering inclusive AI skills development with the Global Skills Academy partners, and particularly this session will propose some of the offers that the Global Skills Academy are bringing to the mission to support youth skills employability. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the first partner, Alfie Amit, Head of Global Strategic Partnerships at Cisco. Please, Alfie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Soledad, and great listening to the previous speaker. Without any time delay, let me share my desktop. So artificial intelligence and the future of work, right? I'm going to cover these topics today. Just to go over, firstly, our Networking Academy program, high-level overview, AI skills, demand by sector, levels, and then going back to what we offer as Cisco. Now, when we look at current research, right? When you look at research at the moment, research is saying that since 2016, the amount of job postings for AI jobs has grown 3.5 times faster than normal jobs. Now, that itself tells us that we have to change. If we do not change now and start focusing on our AI skills in our education sector, then we are training our children for unemployment. At the same time, it says that those who are currently in our workforce, we need to see how we can help retrain and upskill those individuals. So what do we do at Cisco? At Cisco, we have a program that's called the Networking Academy program, and our motto is empowering all people with career possibilities so that we can ensure that there's a level playing field, whether you're coming from a developed country, developing country, or a underserved community. What we have in there is a skills to job curriculum. It's a comprehensive portfolio of job-ready learners. We have networking, cybersecurity, and importantly, the topic of today, AI and data science, operating systems, programming, digital literacy, professional skills, and a whole lot of practical activities. Now, how does we offer this? You can either have access to the courseware as an independent learner, where you learn at your own pace, you enroll yourself, and it's self-paced learning, or hybrid, where you can be self-paced, but together with a instructor that comes in virtually and supports you, or it can be purely instructor-led, and this can be via virtual teaching and learning or in person in a classroom. Now, let's look at the demands. Now, this is important that we all are talking about AI, but where is that AI? I mean, students cannot see it. So let's look at the AI by sector. In healthcare itself, the demand is for AI healthcare data scientists, AI-driven genomic analysts. In finance, you have AI financial analysts, machine learning engineers. The demand is growing for those individuals. Autonomous industry, autonomous driving in the automotive industry. You have AI operations specialists as becoming a demand in that sector. In retail and e-commerce, in entertainment and media, which is growing much faster, where you have a demand for AI content creators and AI interaction designers. Then we're looking at agriculture. There, the demand is for AI agricultural analysts, drone technology specialists. The idea here is for you as an AI specialist in that sector to help those farmers to increase production and increase the efficiencies, right? Then cybersecurity, critical in all sectors of AI. Why? Because these bad players are using AI to actually get into people's wallets, and the last thing we want is for those bad players to have the upper hand. Then education itself, and then in marketing as well as in human resources. So these are 10 that they have, but there's much more sectors where you'll find the demand for AI skills. Now, once you have that, you need to know what are the levels. It starts off, all of this starts off basic digital skills. So we've got to make sure that each and every one of our youth have the basic digital skills. Then comes your basic AI skills, and under these is a whole long list there. This presentation will be shared with everyone. So you need to understand the concepts of AI, basic programming skills, data literacy, statistics, machine learning. Then you come to what is intermediate skills. There's a repetition of your basic skills, but in addition of model evaluation and selection, natural language processing, computer vision, experimentation, prototyping, and cloud computing. Then comes advanced AI skills. Now, the list is there. In addition to what's in level 1 and 2, you now have deep learning, reinforcement learning, AI system design, optimization, strategy and policy, research and development. Importantly, I put that in red, is you need to have, you may have the AI skills, you may have the technology skills or digital skills, but importantly, you must know your industry sector. How can you take those skills and apply it to the sector that you are employed in? And I've shown you, right? Those are the 10 different sectors. So AI is not only in IT, it's in all sectors that you find across the world. Now, what are the learning opportunities that we provide here at Cisco? At Cisco, we have a portfolio of over 50 courseware. And all of this is in IT, as well as helping you navigate through your work environment. Now, what is it that syncs with AI? Yes, in orange, you see there we have AI and data science. So those are the courses we make available to you. But in addition to that, for you to be successful, you also need to have those other skills. So let's say you go into networking, but then you also bring in your AI skills and you become an AI specialist in networking. Or cybersecurity, AI specialist in cybersecurity. Same with programming. Programming is key through the entire AI sector. The whole AI job requirements, right? Your skills requirement, you must have programming. Then basic digital literacy. And as was mentioned by the previous speaker, English is going to be seen as the language of AI. So we now have English for IT, which will help you to navigate your way through the IT industry. And importantly, most critically, is sustainability. So whatever skills you develop, whatever solutions you develop, you need to look at sustainability. Coming back, this is how you can, as a teacher, you can take that courseware, integrate it into your degree, diploma, or your school curriculum and make use of it at no cost to you. It's free. We offer it to you free. As an independent learner, you have a URL that I will share later. You can go online and have access to that. So these are the quick links that we have for accessing the courseware. And yes, we work together, right? We work together as the industry. And today you will have access to this short courseware. If you want to get this badge, I will share this link. It's AI Fundamentals course that we are doing in partnership with IBM. And later on, you're going to be hearing from IBM as well. Thank you, Soledad. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Alvis. That was very comprehensive. And I think that this is a very important opportunity that we are offering to the participants. So please don't hesitate to check the link that Alfie has shared. We are also going to share more information after the event. And please, just to remind participants that if they have any questions, please use the Q&A segment on Zoom. And now very quickly, I would like to introduce Kate Ross, Workforce Education and Skills Global Program Manager from IBM. Please, Kate, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Soledad. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the opportunity to address everyone here today on World Youth Skills Day. I think it's really important and very exciting. So let me jump into my slides. Alfie, thank you so much for the segue. That was excellent. Because Alfie shared the AI Fundamentals badge, and one of the things I want to talk about is exactly that credential and how we're using it in some of our guided learning experiences to make a difference at scale to people's skilling journeys. So as an overview, let me start with what Skills Build is. So it is an online platform with customized and quite practical learning experiences that are available to a series, different kinds of learners, whether you're in secondary school, in university, or simply an adult. And there are many different motivations our learners have for joining us. Skills Build is unique as the courses we are offering are organized not only under the technology hot topics that you see on the left side of the slide, but also organized by job roles. So if you're interested in a particular job or a particular skill set, you can easily find courses that align to that particular interest of yours. Our courses on Skills Build are free. There are many of them. They are in many different languages. And you can personalize the learning paths as well. So we have enhanced programs for partners. And indeed, we've made some programs available to the Global Skills Academy network and the UNEVOC network through our work at UNESCO, which we cherish very much. I'd like to talk about something that we offer in addition to the online self-paced learning, which are our programs that we offer globally. They're guided learning experiences, and they involve live virtual and encouraged interaction with our learners. So they're combining in a flipped classroom way, self-paced, customized learning pathways, but with live virtual instruction, and more importantly, a capstone project at the end that enable our learners to practice their skills. So take the knowledge they've learned on AI, say, for example, and put that knowledge to work and develop real skills in a simulated work activity. Now, the reason we've created guided learning experiences is because we want to create meaningful programs, meaningful opportunities to gain skills at scale. Okay, and what we're learning and what we've done over the last 2 years is develop these guided learning experiences so that our sessions can scale from 500 learners up to 6,000 learners. So we've had tremendous success this year in terms of the scale and availability of this learning. So like I said, we offer our learners encouragement, live virtual sessions, live labs, office hours, a real live a real live work simulated project that you can get your hands in, and also some volunteering opportunities as well for IBMers to interact with our learners in the form of career conversations, for example. And many of our partners and learners take us up on that opportunity to discuss their careers in addition to or alongside their learning. This year, we've introduced something new in terms of guided learning experiences. So we have 4 and 10-week sessions in analytics, in artificial intelligence, and in cybersecurity. And like I said, we can engage up to 6,000 learners in a cohort, which is really quite astonishing. And I think our innovation for the year. We've had at the moment we've delivered already an analytics course. We are in the middle of delivering the 10-week and 4-week sessions in AI and cybersecurity. And so far, the engagement's been very high. Our conversion rates from registration to engaging learners has also been very high. Again, these are all free experiences and lead to the digital credential. All of them are based around the digital credential in artificial intelligence fundamentals, which my colleague from Cisco has also graciously introduced. So our guided learning cohorts, more specifically, what are we learning? Everything from how AI works, so how it makes predictions, to applied machine learning principles, even some hands-on experience writing basic code, testing machine learning models, creating some applications, and also, just as important, tips on how to find a career in AI and what that actually means and what that can look like. Now, obviously, there's differences between a 4 and a 10-week experience. We find our learners, we give them the choice, and they choose according to the depth in which they'd like to explore. Okay, but like I said, the engagement rate has been wonderful, and we've worked through Soledad and the GSA to make these opportunities available to the UNEVOC network, as well as to our global partners around the world. So
thank you very much, Kate. I don't want to speed up, but I'm just being a bit conscious about the time. And this is so exciting. I think that we will really need to share the presentations with participants because there are many questions as well. And I would like to also give the floor to the student that is joining us from IBM before we go.
Let me do that right now. I wasn't going to go through this slide, but it's here for distribution. And rather than go through testimonials online, I'd rather hand over to my colleague Fernanda, who engaged in the AI fundamentals as well as other courses on skills build, and and how it helped her land a job as a degree apprentice at IBM.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fernanda, and as you already heard, I'm here as a degree apprentice in IBM, and I work in AI and analytics, which is very exciting. What got me here is that I really wanted to speak about how Skills Build helped me personally on my journey as an apprentice in AI and how actually it influenced me into getting into tech. So when I was doing a work experience here at IBM, we were told that we could engage in this course called Skills Build. So I asked myself and I looked around and saw what could be useful from this. And I found this beautiful AI fundamentals course, which I started working into and getting done. As I started doing it, I realized that the work that I did back then as a student before applying back to IBM is very relevant to what I'm doing now in AI. The concepts, which are NLP, a lot of large language models, things like GBT, foundational models, the ethics behind AI, all those things were included in those courses. And I can gladly say that because of the fact that I completed these courses, now I'm back at IBM and it's not as hard because I already have the basic knowledge. I already have those foundations that people are looking to. So when people would explain things to me, I would tell them, oh, I already know this. I did this in Skills Build, which is the goal. And I also realized that me working in AI and analytics, we have to learn about the ethics of AI. And there's many newcomers that don't really understand the ethics of AI. But what's so wonderful about these opportunities like Skills Build, these credentials, is that when you do the course and you do the exam at the end, you consolidate that information. And as a female, I realized that it opened a new door for me. So I felt like I was included somewhere and I didn't have to just do another job, that I could also get into tech and that I have the knowledge to get into technology. And I think this is what it's all about, reaching more people like me from different backgrounds to be able to engage in these type of courses and make it better for everyone and make people understand how we could use AI for a benefit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fernanda. We are so happy to hear this testimonial, and I think that indeed we all agree that this is what it's all about. Thank you also, Kate. And now I would like to give the floor to Francisco Anello from Aleph Group Inc. Please, Francisco.
Thank you, Soledad. How are you? Can you hear me well? So
we can hear you.
Good. So I'm going to share my presentation here. I'm very happy to be part of this World Youth Skills Day. I'm very happy also to represent Aleph at this UNESCO Global Skills Academy event. We as Aleph are introducing the new Digital Marketing and AI Certificate Training and UNESCO Global Skills Academy grant opportunities. For the ones that do not know Aleph, we are a company operating in emerging markets in more than 130 countries since almost 20 years ago, representing 45 large partners such as X, Google, Snapchat, Microsoft, Amazon, Uber, TikTok, many digital platforms with more than 23,000 connected advertisers, impacting 3 billion connected consumers in the world every year. So this is our background and our expertise, which is bringing the top digital skills and advertising platforms to emerging markets. And we've been working in educating and bringing opportunities and empowering emerging economies since more than 18, 20 years ago. 7 years ago, we launched our first digital education programs, and 3 years ago, we launched Digital Ad Expert by Aleph, which is, as I told you, part of the member of the Global Education Coalition by UNESCO, and we've been working, impacting more than 800,000 connected students from 130 countries and certified more than 150,000 students in 1 to 10 hour programs, and more than 22,000 students in our digital art certificate program, also in several missions with UNESCO in emerging markets such as Grenada and Cote d'Ivoire. We, as a company, see the growth in digital economy and the transfer that's happening every year from offline GDP to digital GDP, creating opportunities to people around the world. And now we see also AI as an emerging trend since a couple of years ago, growing very, very fast. And I have some, I don't want to be repeating some of the things that already our experts have been saying, but AI, I have a couple of phrases here to share with you. For example, AI's use is starting to impact the job market, offering massive opportunities for those willing to acquire these skills. And this is by the annual report from Microsoft and LinkedIn. 86% of technology professionals are already using AI tools such as ChatGPT and Copilot to improve their productivity at work. We've also seen how professionals aren't waiting anymore for official guidance or training. They're upskilling themselves in AI. And 66% of leaders would not hire someone without AI skills. And we could go over and over with phrases like this. I'm going to just keep a couple of them. But for you to see, this is a massive thing that is happening. And this is why we are relaunching the digital marketing and AI certificate, where we bring Aleph expertise on digital marketing together with this AI global trend and AI experts. And we created these programs to enhance productivity with AI, gain insights on best practices for writing effective prompts and utilizing AI to optimize content, to create a solid online presence and to maximize reach. And we are applying this program to different fields on digital marketing. So this is the syllabus that we will be offering soon with an introduction to the AI and the importance of digital marketing, also creating a solid online presence and accelerating e-commerce growth with AI, SEO optimization with AI, which is also changing very, very fast, AI-assisted content creation tools, pay-per-click advertising, and emerging trends on this field. And as you see, also covering email campaigns, analytics, decision-making with AI, and some soft skills, entrepreneur mindset, and a final project.
Thank you so much, Francisco.
For?
I'm sorry, Francisco. Unfortunately, I have to jump in because there are still some speakers that need to participate. It is unfortunate that we have only 1 hour to discuss, but I suggest, as we said, that we leverage this meeting in order to provide further details right afterwards. Thank you so much, Francisco, and thank you to Aleph. And now I would like to give the floor to Pallavi Malhotra from Huawei. And Pallavi, she will also introduce a group of students, and we really look forward to hear their testimonials before you go. Please. Pallavi, sorry, you're muted. And if you could be very brief, please.
Apologies. It's so excited to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me to share about the exciting work that Huawei's been doing with UNESCO. 2 particular projects that we're working with Huawei and GSA are one, the UNESCO GSA ICT Academy Digital Skills Learning Project, and the second initiative. Now, there's much more that we've been doing, but these are 2 key projects, 2 main things that we wanted to introduce today, and what better day to introduce them than the World Youth Skills Day and the Huawei ICT competition, where we celebrate new talent, young talent. Okay, so just before I go into it, just as many vendors have, Huawei similarly has an academy program. And the academy program provides a whole range of free resources over a comprehensive range of technical areas, and it's available to youth. globally. So how will you get access to this? Well, firstly, just let me explain a little bit about this. This academy program creates a bridge between industry and academia, and it's about building partnerships, such as our partnership with UNESCO, and then making available, aligning our sustainable development goals, our common goals, and seeing how we can actually provide this. Now, there are over 250 courses on the platform itself, but what we've done on the specific projects that we've been working on the two key areas, firstly, the digital learning project, where we want to widen participation and make available all cutting edge learning resources free to all partners, all young people around the world, and especially they can access it through the Global Skills Academy as well. And then the second part is for the first year this year, we partnered with UNESCO on the ICT competition, and at the regional and the national level. And I'm really excited actually to introduce to you later on, after my presentation, a very talented young group who have created an AI generative solution for academia. Okay, so quickly to...
Sorry, apologies, Pallavi, just to tell you that we can only see the first slide, and perhaps since we are approaching the end of the session, maybe we can also go directly to the testimonials from students.
Sure,
Thank you very much.
So later on, you can have a look at this. This will be shared with you, and you can see from the Global Skills Academy, from the GSA website, how you can access all the courses. I mentioned there are a number of courses, and our student teams have done prerequisite courses, underpinning courses to support this learning of AI. And you can also get digital badges as well when you've completed the learning. So let's move on to the ICT competition. This year, we collaborated with UNESCO, and I believe it's due to the collaboration. You can see UNESCO's logo there. There was a lot of interest from young students, especially our team as well. And we went from 120,000 students who participated last year to 171,000+ students. Here's a competition. There's some photographs of all the students celebrating. Especially in Europe, where we collaborated with 2 grand prize winners. So let me move on and now introduce to you, with great pleasure, our team called EduSync from Turkey. And we have our 3 presenters, Aga, Efi, and Arda. Efa will be doing the presentation initially to explain the project, and then all 3 from the team will be available for Q&A. You can check the presentation out later on. All the links are on there. If you want to access any of the courses, they're all freely available to all the students. Thank you very much, Soledad. And sorry for rushing everything. I know we're short of time. So let me stop.
Thank you very much. Please.
Yeah. Hi. Today we will present our AI-based education solution for dyslexic children. I am Efe. My teammates are all of 3 are computer engineer. Also, we have to develop itself in different branches and complement each other. And we have a special instructor for dyslexic children, and we consulted this specialist during our development side to ensure the fit for purpose for dyslexic people. Now we will show our video.
Education is everybody's birthright. However, children with dyslexia cannot access qualified and inclusive education. Therefore, they are having difficulties in their social and academic lives. According to the statistics of LDRFA in Europe, dyslexia is the most common learning disorder, and 10% of the population have dyslexia. With our AI-based app called Dice Therapy, we offer an accessible and inclusive education to each child that they can experience at their own pace with gamification and stratification elements. We are providing adaptive educational content for that with our AI models. In this way, we meet the special needs of these children and reintegrate them into the society. What's more, the app contains story-related exercises for dyslexic children with high cognitive skills. There are different story modes aimed to be both engaging and educational for children. Also, the app is currently in use in the different special education schools. While users are using the app, their performance on each exercise is measured. According to that, different AI algorithms find the most appropriate educational activities for the user. In this way, the system dynamically personalizes education for each individual. We also use AI in order to create personalized and engaging stories for children. The generated stories are checked in terms of both linguistic complexity and content by or other AI models before being shown to the children. While we are training these models, we obtain data from various sources. Also, we consider GDPR law while doing all data-related work. As the EduSyntech team, we have a very good team compatibility. We achieved various successes with our hard work. We got the first place in GA Startup Turkey contest and represented Turkey in the GENI. In addition to that, we got the second place in the Living Lab Innovation Competition. What's more, we found a company named EduSyntech Solutions. Also, we got the first place in the Huawei ICT competition by winning the grand prize. Up to now, we have already changed the lives of 102 children and now targeting millions.
Thank you very much for this presentation. This is one very interesting example. Sorry?
Yeah, we are continuing the presentation actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Dyslexia actually negatively affects children's social academic life, and the formal education systems isn't available and inclusive for them. And every socioeconomic segment can't reach this solution in the market actually. And dyslexia is the most common learning disabilities in the world. The rate is the 10% in the Europe according to my official articles. And as our target group, we target the children aged 6 to 13 who have a learning difficulties such as dyslexia and have difficulties in the schools. As a solution, we offer the children personalized and motivation increasing method at their own pace level with the content they are like and interest. While developing our application, we are using the gamified techniques for the more effective for the children. And our application Dias Therapy, we have 12 steps and it's based on storytelling. We are creating personalized stories where the children is the main character of their journey. And the stories produced by our own AI model according to the letters and the words children have difficulties and topics children have interest. And we have a parent panel. Parents can follow the children's development and activities in the panels. And also we have a great reporting system for the schools and instructors. And while doing this, we develop an application that meets the specific needs of these children using the NLP, computer vision, and generative AI technologies. And this is never done before for the dyslexic children or any education technologies. And we designed all steps with the experts, and we take their approval. And in addition to, we are currently being used and tested our application in the private education institutions and schools and observed by the experts. And also we updated our application according to the schools feedbacks and experts feedbacks. And mobile solution for dyslexia very low for this market. And all application work on the dyslexia are far from inclusive and to focusing to the only specific level of dyslexia and give the same fabricated content to everyone and don't meet to this specific need of these children. Our AI-based application, we offer to the personalized content and the education their own piece and level, and we bring inclusive and qualified education for all people and all society. We have so many achievements. The most important is the WYSD competition. Our motivation for this competition actually is the UNESCO partnership because we are work on the impact side and UNESCO give more information about the impact and Hawaii give us all knowledge about the actually IT side, the technological side. Now we will develop the application for the help of the children, and we already help them more than 100 children. You can contact us, and we have our all contact here, and now we can, if you have a question, we can answer. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for this presentation. This project is very interesting, and it's a great example that we can offer from the Global Skills Academy. Unfortunately, we are going right above the time, but perhaps very quickly we can, if the participants wants to raise at least one question, we would like to extend a bit just to give you the opportunity to talk to the speakers before we go. And then, of course, we will be leveraging the event as we said in the beginning. Please, perhaps my colleague Jan, he can share with us any questions from the participants in the chat. Thank you. Over to you, Jan.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Very warm welcome also from my side from UNESCO-UNEVOC in Bonn, Germany. And we are following the chat and the question and answers. And I have here a few points that I'd like to give to our speakers. So everyone who'd like to answer is more than welcome. And we have one very interesting question from Simone, and is posing, is the old ability to ask better questions the human synonym of prompt engineering? So what is meant is having the right answers, now more having the right questions. So anyone would like to answer on this one? Showing up in my screen is, for example, Kate and Pallavi. So if you would like to give a short statement about this prompt engineering, asking the right questions, is this one of the main skills that we need for using AI? Kate, please.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I'm going to have to say absolutely, Jan. So in fact, the capstone project for the guided learning experience that I was describing earlier is partly exactly that, is prompt engineering. And I think Catherine spoke earlier about some of the soft skills or the professional skills that we need to work alongside AI. And being able to ask the right question is indeed a skill, and it's a very important one. And I think starting with prompt engineering is a fantastic way to get acquainted with the syntax and the way of thinking.
Thanks, Kate. Not sure, Pallavi, would you like to come in, or may I give you another question?
Oh, no, please. I think Kate's answered that question really well. So if there are any other questions, maybe it gives more chance for learners to have more questions answered as well.
Okay, great.
So if I can come in, Jan, on that.
Please,
if that's
please,
okay. So,
go ahead, Alfie.
Yeah, I think for the general user, prompt engineering, yes, if you're a professional and you want to get the answer as quick as possible, solution as quick as possible, you need to have prompt engineering so that you don't have time wasted, right? But if we look at how AI is changing now, the new solutions that are coming out, you could ask a question, but you could also have a way of filtering that by asking additional questions. So yes, prompt engineering becomes important if you are becoming a specialist and you want a solution that talks to what your needs are. But as a general everyday user, the technology is evolving so that you're able to filter your answer to what you need it to be. Yeah.
Thanks, Alfie. Great. There's another question from Dr. Marwa Tum. There are several questions, but I'm just posing the first one. It's very much focused on TVET. What are the essential AI skills and knowledge areas that should be included in the TVET curriculum for teachers and students? So quite specific. So what are essential AI skills that we should really learn and teach within TVET curricula, within TVET organizations? Probably it also depends, of course, what field of TVET we are talking about. But yeah, do you have any essential AI skills that are just relevant really for everyone?
Okay. Yeah, so maybe I'll take that one. I think generalists, if you're looking at across the entire TVET sector. So when I look at the TVET sector, it should not only be in the IT sector of TVET, but across, and that should be a fundamental courses for every single student, is the concept of AI. Right? What is the concept where how AI is going to impact yourself and your work environment? Then you're looking at going into the actual AI itself, and that's where you start with programming. So generally now the demand seems to be for Python programming as well as JS. So you need to bring that in. And then it's databases, right? As a data scientist, how do you analyze data? How do you collect that data? So at a TVET level, I would say you go there. right? But also bringing in another component of cybersecurity, because whatever solution you're putting together, you need to ensure that it's safe. And then lastly, it's ethics, right? Ethics is becoming a critical component of AI itself. So make sure that there's no biases creeping into whatever solutions you're putting together.
Thank
Jan,
you
may
so
I,
much, Alfie.
Great.
And I'm jumping in only because I am conscious a bit about the time. I think that there are so many questions that we need to address, and I will propose you that we do a follow-up with the participants and, of course, with the Global Skills Academy partners. We think that from the Global Skills Academy, we have such an offer that we need also more time to go into the details for the variety of training courses that we have and that we really wish to reach to more youth around the world. So unfortunately, we have to go because we have the high-level event that is taking place in New York, and we wanted to allocate a bit of more time. I think that this was very rich, and we had the chance to at least address one of the questions. And I would like to tell you that we thank to all participants for staying beyond the time as well, to allocating us this opportunity. Thank you to the students. We are so happy to have all these examples with us, and we hope to build in more together. So I would like to give the floor finally to Hervé Womachan for the final remarks and to thank you all again. Hervé, over to you.
Thank you very much, Soledad. I think you are right. I mean, it's so interesting, the discussion, and maybe we should have, and it shows that we need more time to discuss on these. This is only a milestone in the process of all the discussion, thinking, exchange, knowledge sharing, brainstorming about, I mean, how AI is impacting the world of work and what type of skills we need to leverage, to push in the education and training system for youth and adults. I mean, to be more relevant and to ensure, I mean, alignment between education and training and the world of work, and employability of youth, plus upskilling and reskilling of workers. So again, it's only one of the discussions that we have, but a crucial one because it's linked to the UNEVOC webinar organized in the morning. And the next one, which is a global event for the World Youth Skills Day. And we are all very excited to join in now 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. So let's continue our I mean, discussion, I mean, our knowledge sharing in these global events. But really, I want to thank all of you. I mean, we had a very interesting insight from UNESCO, from Alan Turing Institute, from the big partners, I mean, from the GAFA and beyond that we have here, from Cisco, IBM, Aleph, Huawei, not only from the leaders of this organization, but also from the students themselves. So it's something that we now systematize at UNESCO, is to have, I mean, all of us, but also youth, more than on board, but as active thinker and actor of this such process. Also, I would like to highlight that for further steps, of course, we will share all what was discussed here, as it was said in the chat. And also we have other meetings with on the same topic on AI. Regarding, I mean, the interagency group on TVET that we have at UNESCO. You will know certainly that we coordinate this group of international organization on TVET. I mean, meaning including ILO, World Bank, OECD, bilateral organization. And we have regular meetings to discuss and exchange on TVET. And the next one will take place in Lyon during the World Skills competition. That will take place, as you know, in Lyon between 10 and 15 of September. And we'll continue this discussion, but also with the perspective to come back with inputs for the meetings, at least to know what is ongoing in the various organizations and what we have to develop sometimes with some organization, or at least from UNESCO side to push this agenda. So as I said at the beginning, it's only a milestone in a journey that I'm sure won't end on AI, and it's very exciting. So thanks again, and please join the global event. We will be all together. And thanks again for your commitment, engagement, and let's act together through the Global Skills Academy with the UNEVOC network also to provide the employability skills for youth and adults. Thanks to all. See you soon. And thanks for being here. I see a lot of audience as well. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.